Yeehaw, indeed. Welcome to another Tuesday here on my channel. Today I'm joined by the lovely Becca and the lovely Laura. Hello, friends. How
Hello.
are we doing today? What is the Tuesday vibe?
Good. I'm excited to work on my rewrites thanks to the lovely Stieg and his notes.
My God, I felt they were so like sparse and
You know
scattered.
what? It was no, they were good. I mean, no, honestly, your bringing up the Narnia thing changed the whole thing. And then what
Okay.
was interesting was because I did not realize that I had written it so sparsely that you were right. If I took it out, you'd have it wouldn't be missed. Like that was it. Like there was nothing about it that stood out. And even though in my head it was like this huge thing, and like, what do you mean, Narnia? You can't. And then it was funny because I was so awesome that you got back to me so quickly, actually, which was amazing. Because my one CP who's been really, really like lagging, when I told her, like, yeah, I got these no whatever, I like put a fire under her butt and she actually did. So thank you for that too. And then so I had like a whole hour discussion about it because I brought it up. I was like, well, Steve mentioned, he literally said, like, if you take out and she was like, yeah, you're right. And then she's like, I know you don't want to add pages, but I think you should dive in. And so I have to change it. It's not going to be Narnia. It's going to be actually another book that I wrote, Geraldine's Alley. I have a portal fantasy that I made up, and I had the whole lore of who it was written by in
Oh my
1907. And
God.
like, yeah, and it's like this whole thing that, so now it's like I can make it a part of my like books, like to have that same story that doesn't, and then maybe someday I'll write it,
Who
even the
knows?
name of that like actual author that was supposed to have written it in 1907.
I
Um,
mean,
yeah, so it's I and now all these scenes are coming to me. Like I have more grandpa scenes. Yeah, so now that's going to be such a tighter bond, and like because I want it to be devastating when he dies. And right now it's like you only get a
spoiler alert.
yeah, sorry. Well, if you know the real story, then you're like, and that's what Natasha was saying. She's like, I know you because I've known her for 30 years. She's all like, the only thing, she said I did a really good job of fictionalizing it though. And she said, she's like, the only thing I was 100% knew was coming was Grandpa was dying.
I had no clue. I know nothing, Jon Snow.
I know, which was so great. That's why it was so great to get your feedback too, because I haven't told you this story a million times. So yeah, so it was really good. So now I'm totally leaning into this new portal fantasy that was from Geraldine's Alley that and now it's great because I have some seeds. So I'm actually kind of building that out because it's not that prevalent in Geraldine's Alley. So I still get to make up the story. But now there's like so many moments that are coming to me that are going to be so much stronger between I had to change her name though. The main character, because I didn't realize
Oh,
I made the main character's name in the portal fantasy Olivia.
I
So
mean that's just a theme. You don't have to change your name if you don't
yeah,
want
but
to.
I don't in a script I think it would be okay, but in a book I think that would get really
Oh,
confusing. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Olivia,
yeah.
Olivia, Olivia. Yeah. So I actually changed the mom's name to I don't even know. That's how important the mom is in this story. Um, and then, but I changed her name to Emma because I kind of like having an A name and kind of thing. So
Yeah.
anyway, so all that's changed too. So anyway, that's what I'm diving into. But I did finish my DuckTales backpack. Did you guys want
Can we get a little visual representation, a little QVC commercial? Oh my
to?
gosh, it's so stinking cute. Stop
So
it.
these I sewed on the top, but
Is
these
it
are
like thread or is it cutouts, the ducks?
the I actually cut every single piece out of vinyl and sewed it together. So this is all handmade. And then
Is it
this is
stitched together or is it like stitched on
yeah,
top of something?
can you see? Like, I don't know if you can see that closely.
Oh,
Yeah.
it looks so fucking cool.
And then this though, I did iron on transfer paper, but I put like a plastic fabric, a vinyl fabric over the top, just so in case I rubbed up against things, it wouldn't like, how
Ah,
some
that's
rice and
clever.
stuff.
It looks
And
so
yeah, it's
stinking
like a
cute.
little pocket, and then the interior is really pretty pink.
Oh my
Satin. So yeah, so backpack,
baking
all
shish.
ready to go to Disneyland on Wednesday.
So cute. So cute. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Miss Laura, how we doing? What we working on? What's crack-a-lacking?
Well, I have once again an interview I'm gonna have to leave early for.
Oh, I
What is
mean,
it
sucks
for?
for us, but yay for you.
It's in person at a hotel, so
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
receptionist or
pool attendant. Woo!
I don't know what
Oh,
that is.
okay. What does that entail?
I don't know.
Oh,
It
you
Guess
don't
wasn't
we'll
on the
know.
know.
card, so
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Well, still a job. You need
Yeah.
money still.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Um,
I told you the amount of
amazing.
jobs I've done. The craziest freaking jobs.
It's over minimum wage, and
Oh,
it's
Which is all
nice.
we can hope
yeah,
for truly in this economy.
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
my God. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just barely over $20 an hour, so
Hey,
I
that's
started
great.
working
I'll
super
take
cheap
it.
every summer. I had a different summer job because I was just like, I don't know, let's just mix it up. What I want to do.
Mhm.
Then I
So this
turned
will get
18.
me in the door for a hotel industry job experience. So
Oh, okay. Is that something you've wanted to do, or just something that you think is just kind
a
of?
lot of these jobs are like must have 1 year of hotel experience to apply, and it's like, well,
I mean, just make up a fake hotel in Norway and just put me down as your reference.
There you go.
Problem solved. Okay. And what will you be working on today? The interview, or are you
so I
just
need to go print
working
out
on
my
anything?
resume. I need to finish my face, but I will probably, if I have time, be working on a erotic romance short that I have gotten 3K into so far.
Oh,
So not Crimson Strings.
No.
Okay.
sometimes you got to take a breather, you know.
Yeah. No, this one's called The Silent Hookup.
Ooh,
Oh, I like it.
sounds salacious.
Yeah.
And I'll be working on my cowboy book as usual. I got like 10 scenes left of this book if God is good, and God is usually good.
Oh my
So, maybe I'll see the end of it at some point. Please, God. I just want to see the end of this book. Is all I'm asking for.
I
All I ask
mean,
of you.
yeah, it's only April 8th, so you still have.
I mean, my goal for the month is like 10,000 words, and I've reached 4,000 words.
Oh,
So, we're
wow. Okay.
trucking along.
Yeah.
We're trucking along. And yeah, I'm about to write an action scene. The current scene is sort of like an emotional sort of reflection between two siblings. And like the emotional scenes always take a little bit longer for me.
Yeah.
It also involves a card game of poker, which I haven't played. So I'm like, I had to call my brother, like, okay, if I want this and this to have that and that, like, how do I do this metaphor? Like, what hands do they have? What cards do they have? When do they pick what cards?
Yeah.
So he helped me with that last night. So that was like a nice little real life sibling experience.
I love that.
Nice.
And then I'm coming up. The next chapter is a jailbreak, so it's gonna be some actiony, and that usually goes faster for me.
Yeah.
So that's very exciting. So that's what I'll be working on today. We're gonna say hello to some friends. Bonjour, Marlene. Ça va? Hello, Phoebe. What up? Malin says, I had such a quiet day at work today. I got to write a bunch. I saw you got 5K in your manuscript. Amazing. It's show stopping. Probably been done before, but still very well done, Malin.
Yes.
Cool Gamer is here. Hello, hello. Anna is here. Hello. There was some commotion for the backpack.
You,
And Flora is here. Hello, hello. Crushing it, says Anna. Stig, this is going to be your first completed novel. It is indeed.
Very
And
exciting.
maybe my last one. Who knows?
Because you're going to start going into screenplays, right?
Yes, for sure. I
No,
was giving
comics.
feedback on. No, I don't think I have it in me to write comics because I don't really draw. So, just writing comics would not be for me. But scripts, definitely. I do love movies and shows. But also just like there's something about writing books that just feels like it is the right decision for me.
Yeah.
But I'm never saying never. My fanfic is in script format, so
Yes.
so who's to say? Who's to say? Wendy's here. Hello, hello. That is so exciting, Steve. You're doing so well, and it won't be your last one. Lol. Who's to say, Malin? Who's to say? Ooh, nice, Steve. Writing the end is such a satisfying feeling. Can't wait for you to experience it. Same, JC. Honestly, same. So exciting, Steve. Yeah.
Um,
So I guess we just have to write then, because that's what we're here to do. Well, that's what I am here to do.
yes.
So you better get your ducks in order. How do you feel about sprint length, ladies?
I
There
was
you
like,
go.
what's happening? Oh, okay.
Spring sprint length, ladies. Do you have any preferences?
Um, can we do like, I mean, I'm good for anything for the first one because I know like sometimes people like to ease into it. But what were you thinking? I was thinking like 30 or no? Is that too long?
30, 45, somewhere in between there.
Okay, yeah,
30 sounds good.
that'd be great.
Okay, let's start with a little 30-minute sprint to begin with, and then maybe we'll advance to 45. Who's to say?
Yeah, I would love that.
Um, yeah. So 30 minutes on the clock. I'm just gonna play the intro because the audio is so crisp,
Oh,
and then
yes.
we're gonna skip to 30 minutes. So don't fret, young ones. Don't fret. JC says, I think I might have cried the first novel I finished when I
Oh,
typed the end.
yes.
Um, I only cry at anxiety, but never, never of accomplishments because I'm like, okay, on to the next thing. Um,
You never know. Never say never, like you said.
that is true. I'm not usually a crier unless it's like,
Yeah.
nah, yeah, I'm not really a big crier.
Okay. Yeah, I am a massive crier. I cry over everything. For good, bad, frustrated, anger, like it all turns to
Ooh,
tears.
If you
yeah, I
don't
just get
cry at
angry
Bridge
when
to
I'm.
Terabithia,
What do you say, Laura?
Oh no,
if you don't cry at Bridge to Terabithia,
yeah,
Never
I
seen it.
honestly, when Ruby, the girl I used to babysit, got that for her class to read, I
Mhm.
looked at the cover and read the back, and I'm all like, "You're reading this on your own. I'm not reading this."
Dang.
Because I was all like, "You're gonna see blubbering mess, and there's no way I'm reading this." She's like, "What do you mean? What? How do you? I just knew what it would be about. Like I knew it, and I was just like, no, nope." And then afterwards, she was all like, "Oh, you were so right. How did you know?" I'm all like, I just knew.
JC says, "Oh, that makes sense then, because I'm a muffball. I cry at
Yeah,
everything,
me
and
too.
Phoebe also cry at everything."
Yeah,
Malin says, I wish I could feel that like JC, but I always go, nice, on to the next draft. This isn't done. Lol. And I'm very much that, Malin. I think you and me, we're kind of wired the same way.
yeah, yeah,
Um, uh, I need to be better at celebrating achievements, and so does Stieg. That is,
yeah.
you don't need to read us like that live on main, Malin. This could have been in DM. Um, and Phoebe says, I cry for
I
emotions I don't even know
know.
the
Same,
name of.
same. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I will
But
never
you're
cry
right.
for anything real, but if I watch like a sad puppy pound commercial, I'm like, poor dog.
Yeah,
That may make me tear up.
yeah,
But like human stuff, I'm like, you know,
yeah.
there's
To
8
be
billions
fair,
left.
I do not cry when I finish a project. I am on to the next person, but I have been trying to get better about that because it's like you end up with like 50,000 projects that are finished, but you're not doing anything with them. And I just go, oh, well, that one, even though in the moment I thought that was going to be the one, this is going to be the one, I'm going to do this one. And then as soon as it's over, and then you're like, okay, well, that wasn't the one. Okay, apparently it wasn't. So now I got to do this idea. Okay, this idea is the one. And so, yeah, I don't get as emotional about that, but I get emotional about everything else. I cry about everything. So,
Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong if you don't cry. Well, there's a little bit wrong if you don't cry, Malin.
well, not at
We
all.
need we
Yeah.
need therapy.
If there's
But
zero
yeah,
crying, yeah.
let's just get into the first sprint before we air all our laundry here. 30 minutes on the clock starting now.
Love that.
That was the first sprint done,
Woohoo!
ladies and gentle ladies. Becca,
Oh, I did good. I'm flushing out the fake portal story, but also making a list of scenes, not
is her
necessarily.
microphone going or is it just me?
It might be my laptop fan that you can hear.
Oh,
Oh,
it just sounded so far away.
oh, is this better? Maybe I'm a bit
Oh,
close.
that's a lot better. Yeah.
I just need to get closer to the microphone.
Who knew?
Yeah, so I basically am just kind of fleshing out that story and then writing scenes where I can maybe integrate it into current scenes, but also there are a couple scenes that I think would be really sweet. Like, when they're in the rose garden and, sort of thing. Well, like that he could be like pretending like he's the wizard from the story and be like, okay, girls, we got battle, and like giving him like arrow, the Nerf arrows back then. And then like, so then you see, and then what's visual about it is then when they come out of the rose garden, there's like a full battle. Like, you see it as the way they see it. So they're throwing real arrows and like they're, all this thing. But then when Virginia, the grandma, sees it, she just sees them running around on the field, just playing make believe. Um, but yeah, so then I think that'll be like a cool little like moment where he's like fully into the imagination too, where he's all like, all right, girls, buckle up, let's get out there, let's fight, So I'm just kind of like doing stuff like that. I haven't actually written any of the scenes, but I'm like just sort of making notes on where I'd want to add and stuff like that. So far so good.
Okay. As I
Nice.
like to ask my accomplices to share a little line from their whip.
You know,
Any line?
I might share. Okay, you know me, I don't like sharing, but I'm going over the
I
book.
know, but growth, Becca,
I
growth.
know, I know. I'm going over the book that it's the Portal Fantasy. I actually wrote a version of it ages ago.
Dang.
And so I was reading through it and I actually liked the first couple sentences. So do you want me to read it?
I'd love to
Yes.
hear it, Becca. I don't nothing more I would like in this very moment, but for you to share the opening lines to your fictional portal fantasy.
I know that I never published and probably never will, but okay, so chapter 1, the gateway. If she could just find the door or window or anything, it could be anything. Olivia searched her backyard with such a vengeance that any onlooker would have thought she lost her mother's diamond earrings. Under bushes, behind trees, on the ground, Olivia knew she'd find the gateway to a land beyond her wildest dreams. She'd certainly read about this kind of thing happening to kids all around the world. Why were they so special? They didn't seem all that interesting except for the fact that they had some rare gift of finding portals into other worlds.
She sounds very bitter for a child.
That's great.
Nice.
She's like, dang it. Like who am
Why
I
not
to
me?
know?
Choose me, love me, pick me.
Pick me. I want to find the door. So anyway, I thought that was
Thank you
funny.
so much for sharing, Becca. I know that was hard for you.
It was. I'm all shaky voice.
But yeah, thank you for sharing. That was lovely, and also very like reminiscent of the character formerly known as Olive in your current whip.
I know. May she
But yeah,
rest in
thank you
peace.
for sharing.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Laura, did you do any writing, or do you want to share a line from your resume?
Do you want the opening paragraph of the erotic romance?
I
Can we?
mean, sure. I'm not skittish when it comes to sex. When it comes to death and horror, no, thank you. But a little sexy time, call in.
All right, here we go. Wanted, an experienced male dom who will take my V card. Show me how good it can be and what I've only fantasized about for years. No names, no speaking, one night only. Contract to be negotiated beforehand through messaging. Aftercare is a necessity, but I'll be gone by morning. Only respond if you can accept these terms.
Dang, what an ad. Advertisement.
I love it.
It was safe for YouTube, yes.
It was.
Okay, and I wrote 103 words.
Nice.
And my line is, I guess, they're playing a card game, and the card game is supposed to be a metaphor for like their kind of current relationship. So, first draft, it needs it needs zhuzhing, but this is what I have so far. Um, and they're playing for cornbread crumbs because they're bandits. So also that. All in, he said, and pushed the entire plate of cornbread to the center of the table. Madeline shifted slightly in her seat and discarded 3 cards, pulling in 3 new ones. Her brows furrowed. Call, she said, and scooped the crumbs under her elbows to the middle. Castor tried not to grin as he laid down his cards, revealing his hand. 3 queens and 2 10s. Full house. I believe I won, he said. His sister only grinned as she fanned her cards out. His heart sank as he counted the 4 kings. She smirked at him. 4 of a kind. I believe that is the winning hand.
Ha ha
Nice.
ha.
And I'll take your cornbread.
I mean, I've never had cornbread, but they're eating cornbread and thinking about like a childhood memory, like, oh, do you remember Mama using putting raspberries and honey in it, blah blah blah. Um, so yeah. Um, ooh, get him, girly. Yeah. And she's also very coy in the beginning. It's like, do you play? He asks, and she's like, oh, maybe, I don't know. Can you teach me? And then she's like, slay. That's been, yeah. She's been taught by another member of the little ragtag team of friends
Nice.
during the events of the novel, but he doesn't realize that.
Mhm.
Let's see what our friends did, and I also see that our friends shared some lines. Righty Miley came in. Hi, hi, I'm at work, but while the baby sleeps, the nanny writes, as is the law, I believe. As is the law. And Malin got 524 words. Malin also shared a line. Of the 10 crew members of Mission Eternity, 4 return, including myself. Boom, boom,
Ooh.
boom.
Love it.
And how many of them were changeling alien takeovers?
How many of them were body snatched? And
Exactly.
Phoebe says, I spent that sprint trying to figure out what the exact month my novel takes place during so I can line up plot and real historical events to their best advantages.
Ooh. Love that.
Let's see, did Becca share a lie? Phoebe, I mean. But she didn't. But Becca did. Miley got 272 words. I've done a couple of sprints already today, and I'm finally out of that nasty slump. I'm so delighted for you.
Hey.
The story is dancing on her tongue, sweet and decadent.
Love it.
Love it. Let's see. And we got Jessica here. Hello, hello. Made it to the last few minutes of the sprint and got nothing done because I'm outlining right now. Ooh, what are you outlining? Call it. And how's Baby Berry?
Is it the fanfic?
Ooh, what fandom? Call in. Becca, I love it.
Thank you.
And we have an quote from Gaze, or an entry. She scoots over from the center of the bench and taps the empty space lightly. We can talk about what's going on, or we can just sit. In all honesty, she'd like for him to talk to her, selfish as that is. It's not that the elderly patients aren't interested in her, but this job is lonely. Every job she has is. She tries not to sound too desperate when she says, please? Aw.
Oh,
God, I wish portals were real.
I know.
But then again, what is a door if it's not a neutralized portal? There was some commotion for yum yum crumbs. Ooh, spooky sci-fi vibes. Remind me of a great fic I read called Fear of God. Ooh, fanfic of the Bible? Question mark. I finished cleaning the kitchen, so hopefully the next sprint is some writing. Hopefully, Wendy, thoughts and prayers, hopes and dreams. OG fanfic of what work? Okay, baby is waking up, so we'll probably have to go. Happy writing. Thank you so much for stopping by, Miley, and happy baby taking care of ing. It is a modern warfare fanfic. Ooh, okay. This is a judgment-free zone, I hope.
Yes.
And not Malin Googling what a modern warfare is. I knew, Gaze. I knew. It's a Call of Duty game. The Bible is fanfic, Stieg. I mean, sure, sure. I think the jury's still out on that. We read fanfics and we do not judge. Bye all, bye Miley. Jessica says, actually, I'm writing a detailed version of my outline for Krampus. I wrote a quick version, 2 sentences per chapter, and now I'm basically doing a 0 draft version. Okay.
Ooh,
That can
nice.
be useful sometimes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Are you two? Well, I know for sure Laura is not an outline girly.
Sometimes, not very much.
Did you outline Tiny Shivers?
Well, that's a bunch of short stories that I pantsed.
Yeah, but you pants them all. There's no like outlining to a short story or like that's not your process. You just have a spark of imagination and then bloop, get
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah.
Was Crimson String outlined?
No.
Okay. You say that with like
I know.
desperation in your voice.
I tried. I got 2/3 through and I tried to outline the rest, so I had headlights and I veered off right away. And I tried to re-outline it again and I veered off right away. And I was like, dang it!
Laura's like, not on my watch.
Yeah.
I mean, outlining for everyone. It just means you have more work to do after you're done with a book. So, you know.
Yeah.
I'm about to say I have seen Laura's outlines, bullet points, but that is still an outline. That is fair. An outline can be whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say for screenplays, it's always bullet outlines because they're just like quick, scenes leading up. I'm a little bit more fleshed out in my outlines with books, but I like being able to I like structure. That's my thing is structure. So as long as I stay within the structure, I still like to pants. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of both. Like I outline the story is intact, right? Where everything's supposed to go, but I still allow myself to I don't have it planned out exactly everything, so I don't know. I feel like everyone's kind of a mixture of both. I mean, I know there are extremes, like people who are massive outliners that outlines are 40 pages long, and then there are pantsers probably like Laura, she's just like blah!
I mean, Neil Gaiman. Nope, not Neil Gaiman. Who's the crime author that did Cocaine? Oh, what is his name?
I was gonna say that. Oh, Stephen King.
Yes, Stephen King. Isn't he like a famed non-outliner?
Yes.
Yes, but that's the thing. Have you read a lot of Stephen King?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm obviously he's top selling author of all time. So I'm not, and I love Stephen King books, but he does go off on tangents. Like in The Stand, there's a 300-page tangent where they're just building a government. And you're like, what is going on? We have just gone off the rails, but you're still enjoying it, right? And you're still into it. And you're like, yeah, how are you going to do this new government? How are you really, you're getting, because he's such a good writer, right? But he almost every book that I've read of his, there is some kind of he just goes way off, but it's great. So you're not complaining about it. It's just funny because as a person, like I said, as a person who's a structure, I'm this is not a part of the story. I don't understand.
How do you go about, because for novels, obviously you have the famous Save the Cat beat sheet, and Save the Cat is also, what some people use for scripts. But what does the structure in your scripts look like compared to the structures for your novels or outlines?
They kind of end up about the same in the sense, I would say, if you're just going straight by page count, right? So with screenplays, the first act is the first 30 pages. And the first turning point, plot point, is around page 25 to 27. So compare that to books. If I'm doing a 30 chapter book, then that first act would probably be in the first 10. Well, no, I would say first 7 to 8. It would just it would be the comparison would be the same in the sense of just page count and whatever. But again, you can't totally be strictly sometimes the plot point, you want it to be on page 25 to 27, but it ends up on page 30, and that's okay. There are so many exceptions where, you don't have to be so rigid about it. But as long as you're in the area, And I think that's how Save the Cat, the novel one, works, right? It's like as long as you're in that sort of area as the story progresses, if you stick to that structure kind of thing.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Mhm.
Let's see. Honestly, outlining helps me, but I also abandoned it when I realized it underutilized my characters yet again.
Yeah, that can happen.
Malin has an entire series on the internet where you can see what her outlines look like
Yes.
for her alien book. And Laura, you also do detailed storyboards like on Millinote. Malin says, but I pass a lot of in-between stuff, so it's not boring for me. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the thing. I need to know where I'm going, but I can't know every step of the road because then I get bored and
exactly.
I'm like, I've already know this. Goodbye.
Yeah, and
Um,
sometimes you end up discovering something that you have to go back and re-outline. Like, and that's
oh yeah,
okay.
for sure.
Yeah, like, and I'm okay with that. Like, I don't have an outline and be like, I have to stick to this no matter what. Like, sometimes your characters do something and you're like, oh, that is so much better. And
Yeah.
like, I need to re-outline.
Outlines like Krampuses have their entire scene action and even some of the direct lines already written to make it super easy for me. I often don't make my character dynamic enough, and that's the core issue it seems to struggle with.
Okay.
300-page tangent? That's a whole
No,
other
it
novel,
is.
Becca.
Well, yeah, the book is like 1,000 pages long, so yeah.
This probably could have been an email. That's when a thick writer goes, sorry guys, I got carried away and wrote 60K words chapters like that. That's a novel, a whole novel as a chapter.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then the page refreshes and you lose your spot. You're like, no. Let's
No.
re-scroll and find where I was.
Oh.
We're gonna do another timer. Let's
When is
see.
your interview, Laura?
12:30. So I
Okay.
need to leave in like 40 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess we're doing another 30-minute sprint, and then you can say your goodbyes before you have to pop off.
Before the
Say your
interview.
goodbyes sounded very dramatic.
No, I was like, wow, that's dramatic.
Muchachos.
Okay, we're gonna do another 30 minutes. Another 30 minutes on the clock. Sorry for disappearing off screen. I'm sitting on the living room couch, right? Because that's where I'm most comfortable. So all you have to see is this AI generated Kevin. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, 30 minutes on the clock starting now, and then we'll get back and say goodbye to Laura. Our goodbyes. Oh, we need that again. Come on. Part 1, The Ocean. Stunning, show-stopping, incredible. Speaking of incredible, Becca, how did you do?
Good. I started working on some scenes. So,
You know
mm,
what I'm gonna ask?
which scenes?
No, what do you want to share something?
Oh, I mean, it's from a screenplay though. So,
I mean, you can share a piece of dialogue that you think is funny or a line that you like.
okay. Well, I changed the opening so that, like, she just told her parents that, her bike got eaten by the road. Um, And then so they get back to the bedroom, and then Abby's like, "What was that all about? The road ate your bike?" And then Emma says, "If I would have told them the truth that Queen Madalis brought the road to life and sent her archers after me, they would have been even angrier." And then Abby and Dana's eyes widen. She did. And she's like, "That's what I saw." She's like, "I want to see those things." And Emma says, "You will when we find the door to Winterbrook." And then it goes back to what it normally was.
Ooh.
Nice.
A lot of context though, but still.
Speaking of stunning, Laura, did you work
I got
any
about 300
lines you want to
words.
share? Slay. Do you want to share in line? I know you do. But is there any non-genitalia line that you can share?
Not really. Well, okay. One sentence.
Okay.
And then there were the close-up photos of his hands, long and powerful fingers, a huge palm with deep lines he wished to feel against his throat.
Okay. I did a rewrite over what I wrote yesterday, which was the poker game. My brother gave me some feedback that I got it all wrong, so I had to finagle that and make it right. So I think I did it. I sent him a new edition or a new revision just so he can like see that the poker actually checks out. And then I added like one paragraph more to the entire thing. So now I'm like ready to write for the next sprint. In the paragraph I added, this is after she revealed that she won. He chuckled. "You're good," he said, his eyes flickering between her face and her hand. "Better than I remember." She didn't answer immediately, and her gaze shifted away, just for a moment, like she was avoiding something. "Yeah, well," she finally muttered, lifting her chin. "I've had time to learn." There was an edge to her words now, something he couldn't quite place. "We all have." So that's what I added. Sexy Laura. Hello, hello, hello. We are definitely sharing lines and working on things I shouldn't, but it's fine. Is it though, Katie? Is it? The only one you're letting down is yourself.
No, guilt. No.
Gaze everywhere says I gotta go prepare for a midterm, so I will leave. Bye, farewell. And then yeah, Katie joined us. Mylan says mostly just made dinner this round, linguine with butter, lemon, and parsley sauce with walnut and garlic. Yum! Sounds delicious.
Dang.
Angsty line. Not my problem, not my problem, not my problem. I repeat in my head like a mantra. But my responsibility. They were all my responsibility, and I let them down.
Oh.
Devastating. During that sprint, I went to prepare my lunch, and then I opened up the Google Doc for the book I'm beta reading. Ooh, JC. You shan't share a line from that. I'm 269 words for outlining for Jessica. And JC is also watching a documentary.
Nice.
Let's see. Between the slashes, different characters, lol. Okay. So this is a piece of dialogue.
Yeah.
One-night stands are not my style, Andrea. Who said anything about a one-night stand? Oh yes, because so many people want me. You really need me to spell it out for you, don't you? Who's Andrea? Hebe says military history research for my least favorite kind of history. What is your work that you're working on, Phoebe? Like, what's the genre? What's the vibes? Call it if you want to.
And I've got a skedaddle.
Okay, bye, Laura. The best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank fingers.
Farewell.
I have my resume printed out, so
Okay.
Well, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
hopefully there's no accidents on the freeway.
Oh, don't say that.
So I'm leaving early.
Yes.
Good luck. Good luck, babe.
Thank you.
Yes.
See ya. Oh, vampires! Gothic! Oh, Phoebe!
Gothic historical fantasy, vampires.
Yes. Okay.
Oh,
Got this.
Phoebe, is this the one that you started a few years ago? Are you back to that? Is that the same one? Because I remember you writing something with a historical vampire fantasy thing, and I remember loving it. Like it was Beelzebub or some like demon name or something.
Not Beelzebub.
Anyway, let me know if it's the same thing because I love that.
Ugh. After the cowboy book, I think I'm gonna write the fanfic first because I gotta get that out of my system. Um, and then I think I'm gonna write a Viking vampire story.
Oh. Oh, you
Yeah.
know what's so funny is the vampire book that I wrote with Faith. We have a whole section where we went into the Viking era of like vampire.
Oh.
Yeah, where like that was the reason why like the Vikings ended up getting decimated, or whatever at the I forgot what it was, but anyway, it was like it was really fun. But it's only a
That's
part
fun.
of the history because the actual thing takes place in modern day. So these are like flashbacks kind of stuff.
Yeah, this would be like an historical AU situation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love
I thought for a second Laura was going to be like, "Fuck this! This is more important." Vampire Gothic
I
fantasy,
know,
Phoebe.
right?
Yes. Phoebe says I outlined it in 2021 and first drafted it April 2024. You're thinking of my historical demon and project
Oh,
lol, which
okay.
has a very similar vibe.
Okay.
I'm sensing a theme in your works, Phoebe. I'm not mad about it. And JC low key thought the same too. Um, yeah, I think we're gonna dive into another sprint because I'm still have 200 words to write for the day.
Okay.
So I hope you're ready. I
I'm
thinking
ready.
I'm gonna do a longer one for this, if
Okay.
that's all right with you,
Yeah,
Becca.
I love it.
So 45 minutes on the clock,
Okay.
and that is going to be our last sprint of the day. So also just emotionally prepare yourself, Becca. I'm
Yeah.
gonna ask you to share a line when we come back.
Oh no. Okay, I'll make it.
Oh no, you know it's important to challenge yourself.
I know. I know. I have done it twice already, so I'm.
I'm very, very proud of you. You're doing great.
Thank you.
But yeah, you're doing great. You're doing great, sweetie. But yeah, we're going to start the intro just to get the little zest, and then we're gonna skedaddle it down to 45 minutes. But yeah, this is going to be the last sprint of the evening. Time to get everything you wanted to do for this sprint done. So 45 minutes starting now. Lovely. That was lovely, Malin.
Yes.
Okay, speaking of lovely, how do we do, Miss Becca C. Smith?
Good. I weaved in the Queen Madalis into the first bike stunt scene, which she
Oh.
remarkably looks a lot like Agatha.
Which is, you know, uh, iconic.
A little
I'm
nod, a little
just
nod.
so excited for October to roll around so I can watch Agatha all along again.
I know, that's so true. I feel like it should be like a yearly tradition.
Oh, I'm putting it up there with what other Halloween? I like Practical Magic. I watched
Yes.
that. And Halloween Town. I watched the first one this year, so I'll watch the second last year, so I'll watch the second one this year.
I've never seen Halloween Town.
Oh, and then oh my God, the Beth Midler movie, Jesus Christ, what is Hocus Pocus 1
Oh,
and 2?
Hocus Pocus. Yes, yes.
Ah, iconic.
That's awesome.
But so is Agatha all along. I mean, you know my undying love for that show, and I
Yes,
know your undying love for that show. So,
yes. Oh,
do you have a line to share or some
I
descriptions to
mean,
share?
I could. I put she basically goes down on the bike and then the woman's laugh is louder now. In the sky, Queen Madalis from Gateway to Winterbrook. And then I put in parentheses, this is a made-up book series movie for the story. Just in case if the reader, you know what I mean? It's all like,
Wasn't
oh,
familiar
what's
with the material.
yeah, because I'm referencing Star Wars, so I'm referencing like real things. So I feel like they'd be like, should I know this? Like, is this
Oh my
actually
God,
a
I want to read this. Where can I find it?
yeah. Wearing all purple for her flowing
God.
gown as she hovers in front of Emma to her long wild hair, she cackles triumphantly. Archers attack. Arrows fly all around Emma as she dodges them with her bike.
She does give Agatha
I know.
vibes.
I totally am like,
Oh,
I'm going to describe
that
Agatha.
purple Agatha coat is so
Oh
good.
man, her
Oh my
whole
God.
purple wardrobe is amazing.
Yeah. I'm not, and this might be controversial, but I'm not too keen on her witch look.
You mean like in the Wanda series where
No,
they
she
get the
also has it at the end of Agatha All Along,
oh,
which is
does
like in
she?
the purple gown with like the sort of priest collar.
Okay. Yeah, I thought because the
Yeah.
thing is I was just watching like that last scene, like just watching clips and stuff of that last scene in Wanda Vision.
Yeah, it's the same
And
when she has like her kids on a
yeah,
leash.
and her contouring makeup is so extreme.
But I do love her purple coat and like the shirt
Yes.
and like oh my God for the road.
Oh,
Oh,
at that panel, that was her favorite outfit.
bury me in that coat.
Yeah,
And I've
I
seen
know.
some behind the scenes stuff. I don't know where, but like the costume designer talks about the construction of the coat and like the inside of the coat and how like it
Yes, and
has
the
all these
little
symbols in
oh,
it, and I'm just like, oh my
yes.
God, yes,
Oh, I know. I know. I
yeah.
feel like if you're gonna cosplay that and make it, like, you shouldn't I mean, it would be so
I feel like
difficult.
you should cosplay this, Becca.
Well, no, I mean, like, if I was to make it, like, I don't know if I'd do the detail, like, that seems, like, so extreme, but it's so
I
cool.
mean, that's the best cosplays, isn't it? The
I
ones with
know.
attention to detail.
I know, it's true.
Anyone can buy a Luigi's suit off Amazon, but not
Yeah.
everyone can look like an Italian plumber. I'm just saying.
It's true.
And I did my daily word count and then some. My daily word count goal is 334. I did 615.
Oh, nice.
And I finished the card game, so I guess I'll read the end of that. Um, yes. This is after he loses.
Okay.
Hey, Maddie, he said, letting his words trail off before picking them up again. I really am sorry, you know. I know, she looked up from her cards. You don't have to say it. But I do. I didn't handle it well after father died. Understatement of the century, she muttered. And I wish I knew how to, but I didn't. I still don't. But I'm willing to try. And I think it starts with telling you that I'm truly am sorry for all the pain I caused you, the children, and Ma. It wasn't fair on any of you. He grabbed her one hand resting on the table and squeezed. I'm sorry. She squeezed it back. I forgive you. She gathered the crumbs on the plate and pushed it towards him. Now eat, loser.
Oh, I love that.
The user had to eat all the dry and stale cornbread.
Mm,
Yeah. So that's
oh,
what I. Let's see what our friends did. We lost him, Alan.
no,
R.I.P. Not dead or anything, but she's crashing on the couch in Netflix.
I understand.
Andy Keiko though, so win-win or loss win, kind of actually. Keiko says, "I'm late. Finished watching a series. This was the last sprint, Keiko. I'm so sorry." And I do love the sound of the kind of
Oh,
soda popping in the beginning. It is so crisp, and I'm usually not an ASMR guy, but
yeah. Oh, yeah. Every once in a while, one will like hit perfectly, and you're just like, oh, I don't
and
know
that
why.
like little can opening hits
Yes.
perfectly.
Oh, so good.
Let's see. Have a good day, Malin. Let's see. Froggy says, "Hi everyone. I snuck in during the sprint. You can sneak in if the door is wide open." Froggy, welcome. Um, Keiko says, "I'm very happy that I have vacation this week because when I went to shop some things, my supervisor was like, 'Be happy you're not here.' Two supervisors, one other full-time employee, and one student jobber today. That's bad? Question mark. I don't know.
Yeah.
It sounds off. I'm glad you're also on holiday."
Yeah.
White Seer Gaming came in. Hello, hello, hello. New user alert. What is this picture? Some avatar with WSG in it. Welcome. We're just wrapping up today's sprint, but we're here every Tuesday. Well, I'm here every Tuesday, and then Becca is here most Tuesdays.
I'm a lot of Tuesdays.
I love it. Love it. That's fantastic work, you two, and fantastic work, everyone in chat.
Yes.
No lines to share by the looks of it, though. Jessica got 470 words for that sprint.
That's great. So
And
productive.
yeah, I reached 5K words this month today, so
Oh, that's awesome.
halfway through the goal, which means that I technically reached my goal at the midpoint of the summer,
Wow.
which I think midpoint of the summer. Sorry, I was now in Becca Bookland. I was midpoint in the summer in the 80s. But no, midpoint of the month of April. So
Yeah.
maybe my secret goal is to reach reach the 10K at the middle of the month. I think
Oh my
that's my new
gosh,
secret goal.
that'd be
Let's see
amazing.
how that. Let's see. The boss apparently personally did freezer section stuff, which I can't understand because we have two student jobbers who want to work more than that. Would have been the week for them. So maybe they're trying to save money? Question mark. I don't know.
Hmm.
Speaking of saving money, we're gonna pull the plug. As, don't know how that saves us money, but you know, it saves us air miles, I guess. Thank you so much for being here, Becca. Always
Thank
a delight
you.
to have you on board. I'm sorry, but also a little bit not sorry to make you share lines. And it's always okay to say no if you're truly madly, deeply not comfortable with it, just so you know.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah. And also thank you to Laura, wherever you are now. God
Yeah.
bless.
Go for
God
it.
bless. Fingers crossed. And yeah, I'll be here tomorrow for the Trouble stream, and I'll be here next Wednesday. Nope, next Tuesday for another stream with Becca? Question mark. Is it you and
I think
Katie?
so. Yes. Yes, I am scheduled for next. Yeah.
Scheduled,
Scheduled. I
like
am
it's a job.
scheduled. I'm scheduled. That is part of my schedule. Listen, if I don't put it in the calendar, I will forget completely about it. So,
I am the same way myself. So yeah, next Tuesday is going to be you and Katie. It's going to be a wonderful time as always. And at the end of the month, me and Malin are doing a book talk on the Story Grid by Sean Coyne, which
nice.
is so good so far. I'm so truly excited to finish this draft so I can just, you know, get my grubby little hands all over it with the Story Grid.
Okay.
But yeah, as Flora says, bye, flower emoji.